Welcome to the channel. On this channel, we just want to encourage fathers by telling authentic fatherhood stories. And so if you've been here before, welcome back. And I just want to put this out there. How do you fathers decide when to let kids be versus intervene? We went camping the other day and there's been a lot going on, so I was just looking forward to unplug, to get outside, and to enjoy some family bonding time. So on the way to our campsite, there was this cool point of interest called Ape Cave, and it was a cave that was created by Mount St. Helens 2,000 years ago when she erupted, created this awesome little hike in the cave. You know, it was a pretty good hike. Kids were behaving. We had our lanterns. It was cold and stuff. It was new, it was cool, it took us out of our element and we were having a great time.
So it's gonna be okay, we're gonna go explore.
And I just noticed myself kind of enjoying the moment, but also being like this annoying parent that told their kid to keep hushing, because you know, in the cave, whenever they yelled or said something, it kind of echoed and everybody could hear, and so I was just like, shh, shh. And it was just something I noticed. I just like caught myself, made a note of it, and kept going. And so later we got to the campsite and of course we built a fire, and the kids, you know, instinctively just grabbed sticks and started playing with the fire, and I let them roll with it. So my idea of camping and relaxing is making the fire, sitting in front of the fire, kicking my feet up, not doing anything. And that is like nirvana right there. That's relaxation. But of course, kids with sticks, playing with fire, causing smoke and ash to rise up, it was getting me kind of annoyed. The next morning, kids wake up, they hop on their bikes, and they're ringing the little bell thing at like 6:30 in the morning. And my first thought is like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want our neighbors to be like, who the heck is that annoying family at campsite 8 making all that noise early in the morning? Shh. And so we told the little guy like, hey man, quiet hours are, you know, till 7, and you can't be making that noise. And so, you know, he kind of proceeded to make other noises, not with his bike bell, but, you know, saying like, lift off, or, you know, whatever he was yelling. And I was like, why do we do this? Why do we come out here? Why do we spend so many days packing, making lists, driving 3 hours, dealing with their complaining? Like, why do we even go out here to camp? Is it worth it? And at that time, I was like, no. Right around that time, we were doing a hike to a waterfall, and Joy was probably noticing how frustrated I was getting at the whole trip. And she was like, you know what? You go to the waterfall, I'll take the kids back, just like enjoy, decompress, do your thing. So I went on that hike. It was about an hour, made it to the falls, and, you know, got to hang out there for a little bit, just enjoy my time. And that's when I realized that all these things are happening with the kids, and I'm trying to control their behavior. I'm trying to, you know, basically put them in a box and get them to hush and sit and just be quiet. And that's the exact opposite spirit that I want to exude or encourage them, especially when they're hiking. Like, you know that freeing feeling when you're in nature, whether you're standing looking up at the trees and they're like swaying, or you're looking at a waterfall or whatever, like it just feels so free and that you could just be yourself. And here I was telling my kid, like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, they were trying to enjoy nature. Like, that's the whole point of why we took them out there. And here I was trying to control everything. That's when I started thinking about the consequence a little bit deeper. Like, what would be the consequence if I just let Zachy be himself, ring his bell, yell the things he's yelling? What would happen if I just let him play with the sticks and play with the fire? Maybe, you know, there was this fear of like, they will let an ember fall out of the pit and that would cause a forest fire, but that was pretty unlikely too. And so I just realized, like, why am I being like this? Like, let me just let them be, you know? Sure, there's a time and place for discipline and all that, but I don't know, was this like an ego thing? Like, maybe I just wanted everything to be controlled? And if that was the case, like, that was leading to stress. That's when I realized too that our kids, Zachy, you know, he's gonna blossom and grow on his life's own timetable, And do I want to be the person that stands next to him, supports him, you know, the person that he feels comfortable growing with? Or do I want the person that keeps basically hampering his growth, right? Telling him no, he can't do things. So once I realized that the kids are gonna do what they're gonna do, they're gonna blossom into their own people, and that maybe my job as a parent isn't to stop things or try to control things, but be more of an observer, encourager, someone who guides them and of course keeps them safe. Maybe I could play along, that I could join them in what they're doing.
Thanks for my blueberries. Have a great trip, bye.
Hey, it's open!
As silly as it was, and that just turned around the whole trip. It made me enjoy myself more. It gave the kids more freedom to be themselves and play and be spontaneous, which, you know, that was kind of the point of the camping trip all along. So I want to hear from you. Does this story, this scenario resonate with you? Or is it just like, no, John, you're seriously overthinking this, like just let the kids run around and they'll figure it out kind of thing? I just want to hear from you. Like, how do you balance letting them be versus keeping them safe and controlling and doing all that? The whole point of this video, the encouraging part, is to let you know that it's okay. You know, whether it's a scenario like this or something else, I know for myself, it's just so easy to get down and be hard on myself and you know, sure, there's a time and place for that, but more often than not, I just feel like we're being too hard on ourselves. And so, you know, the thing that I can hang my hat on is that no matter what the situation, I am trying my best, and I could probably guarantee that you are trying your best as a dad. And so, keep it up, Dad. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up in the icon down below, and consider subscribing for more fatherhood stories on this channel. The whole point of it is to encourage other fathers. So if you want more content like this, let me know in the comments section down below, and hope you make it a great day and keep doing a great job, Dad.